hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to section 13 within the workbook A Course in Miracles. 13, here we go. We're on lesson 341 today. So today we are discovering what is a miracle, which I will be reading through shortly. Then we'll go into our lesson, then we go off with our day and we practice as best we can. So let's read through what is a miracle. The link is under this video so you can read it in your own time as well as with me right now. Here we go. What is a miracle? A miracle is a correction. It does not create nor really change at all. It merely looks on devastation and reminds the mind that what it sees is false. It undoes error, but does not attempt to go beyond perception, nor exceed the function of forgiveness. Thus it stays within its time's limits. Yet it paves the way for the return of timelessness and love's awakening, for fear must slip away under the gentle remedy it brings. A miracle contains the gift of grace, for it is given and received as one. And thus it illustrates the law of truth the world does not obey, because it fails entirely to understand its ways. A miracle inverts perception, which was upside down before, and thus it ends the strange distortions that were manifest. Now is perception open to the truth. Now is forgiveness seen as justified. Forgiveness is the home of miracles. The eyes of Christ deliver them to all they look upon in mercy and in love. Perception stands corrected in his sight, and what was meant to curse has come to bless. Each lily of forgiveness offers all the world the silent miracle of love, and each is laid before the word of God upon the universal altar to Creator and creation in the light of perfect purity and endless joy. The miracle is taken first on faith, because to ask for it implies the mind has been made ready to conceive of what it cannot see and does not understand. Yet faith will bring its witnesses to show that what it rested on is really there, and thus the miracle will justify your faith in it and show it rested on a world more real than what you saw before, a world redeemed from what you thought was there. Miracles fall like drops of healing rain from heaven on a dry and dusty world, where starved and thirsty creatures come to die. Now they have water, now the world is green, and everywhere the signs of life spring up to show that what is born can never die, for what has life has immortality. Oh, I just love this. What is a miracle? What is a miracle? Gosh. So it's just explained it all there, how it's a complete shift of perception. It turns it upside down so that we see the world in its right way. You know, at the minute we think of life and death, it's got a finite and it's going to be out. Whereas the truth is we are eternal, we are forever, and when we know who we are, we just blossom all the time. It's almost like going through this life in the life of the ego identity is a starved life, because it's grasping, it feels it's got nothing, and it's constantly heading towards death. So it's got to grasp as much as it can before it finally fades out of existence. That's not the truth. A miracle drops in our minds and shows us the truth. And we have to have faith in that. It's like it said, stay rested in the faith of miracles. And the longer we can do that, the more they show up in our world. And that's why forgiveness becomes justified, because suddenly we know why we forgive. We forgive because we've been seeing it all so incorrectly, distorted. Once we see the truth, we see that everybody is part of us, that we are one. Why would we attack those around us, because we're just attacking ourselves, our own truth, our own light. And it's like two distortions attacking. When two people attack each other, they're both distorted and they're having an attack at something when they are really light. It's like, so miracles come when people suddenly wake up to the truth, when they have love in their hearts, when they can express from that place of love. They're coming back into alignment with who they really are. There is no negativity. There is no... It's like I've seen people in this world who seem, when you see them, they seem very upset with the world just by the way they're scouring, and like you send them a smile and they just look at you because they're not seeing the real truth inside of them. They've lost connection. And some of us are further away than others at coming back to that place. And maybe that person that I've seen has moments of joy. We all do. We all have those moments where we smile and there's a light that comes in, even in the darkest of times. You know, it could be as simple as seeing a sunrise and going out there into the world, just seeing the colours that nature offers us. You know, those things, we don't have to, you know, it's not created by a mind. That is just there. Rainbows, for example, things like that are there, almost showing us you are this. When you light up at looking at something like that, it's showing you who you really are. It's getting you into connection with that. So miracles can show us so much, and they come like little raindrops, like it said, to the world that is a starved, desolate place, and it's making everything green and spring up and become life that is forever. It doesn't come up and die. It is forever. It stays in that joy, and we all just like, it's the wholeness that we all seek. So enjoy reading through that again. What is a miracle? I think this is a lovely one that we're going to be reading throughout these next 10 lessons. So let's move on to lesson 341. So our statement that we will keep reminding our mind of today is quite a long one. So just get the main essence of it if you can. It is, I can attack but my own sinlessness, and it is only that which keeps me safe. I can attack but my own sinlessness, and it is only that which keeps me safe. Father, your daughter is holy. I am she on whom you smile in love and tenderness so dear and deep, and still the universe smiles back on you and shares your holiness. How pure, how safe, how holy then are we, abiding in your smile, with all your love bestowed upon us, living one with you, in brotherhood and sisterhood, and fatherhood, and motherhood, complete, in sinlessness, so perfect that the Lord of sinlessness conceives of us as his sons and daughters, a universe of thought completing him. Let us not then attack our sinlessness, for it contains the word of God to us, and in its kind reflection we are saved. They're so lovely, these lessons. Sometimes they just reading them makes my heart just sing, you know. It's and that's when you can feel it's guiding you towards your truth. Because when we attack others, when we start attacking other people, we're attacking ourselves, we're attacking our sinlessness. And that's so hard for the mind to get wrapped around, because it's made such a wonderful, wild, creative story about the other person and why there is a valid reason. History could be, you know, the past has created this huge mammoth of a story about this person and what they have done to you, and it's kept that in the mind and just kept it and built on it like a little, you know, castle. A castle of, you know, just vengeance, whatever it is that makes you feel certain things towards certain people. What they're really teaching us is that we've lost that part of us. We've lost the light in us. We see problems where they aren't. They're just not there. They don't exist, but we sort of keep hold of these judgments, of these ideas, and we cling to them because it's part of the identity that we've created for ourselves. You know, we think we are a being in a body, we have a name, we have a way of living about the world, and everything has to flow with that. Otherwise, you know, it's like, oh, something knocks something out of that perception, the story, and it has to be eliminated, has to be moved aside, because this story that we've got going for each other, which everybody's story is so different. Some people are kinder than others, but we're all light, we're all sinlessness. They're all sinlessness is within us all. Nobody is here sinning. It's all a distorted perception of the mind, you know? And it's just so trying to get that in there, because it's like I can hear even my own mind like, well, of course, look at the things that certain people have done in the world, the atrocities, and you know, like Hitler for one. He is one person that a lot of people preach about, saying how, you know, bad what he created in the world. And well, maybe he was trying to push us all to light up, because if we're all eternal, there is no death, there is nothing like that. It's so hard though, because that story is so ingrained in all of us. And for me, even to mention it in a way that could be seen as light feels fearful. You know, it's like you're going to be attacked for having a different perspective on something that seems so dark in the world. It's like we just have to turn these perceptions really upside down. Because we're in a world where we do see death, and we see that death is real. You see people going to funerals all the time and grieving their loved ones. I have myself, you know, because we think we've lost them. They've gone. They're no longer with us. But as the Course teaches, we are all one. We never die. It's like the physicality is what transcends, or so we perceive this. You know, the senses are so in tune with the mind and its thinking. So your vision is distorted because your vision is linked into that way you see the world. Your sounds, again, are distorted because they hear what the mind is putting in there. Even what you taste, what you smell, all of these things are distorted because of the way the mind is pulling you in different directions. So it's really, you're trying to move that around and stay with it when you feel that lightness in your heart. Try to become more and more present in that moment, because the more you can become present to what it feels like to stand in truth and to suddenly just see a world very differently, how the world will evolve as we move into this awakening mind is something we all are just going to be so happy about. It's a joyous way. We're being pulled really towards the joy, but we're so in here that our pullingness is going towards suffering so much, so much. And we're in a time in history right now where it's very close to a breaking down. I can just see so many shifts coming, because when we suffer, that is when we awaken. The more we suffer, it's almost like we have to suffer to such a degree to wake up. It's like we're so asleep. It's like this alarm. Suffering is like an alarm going ding, 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 ding. So eventually it's going to get so loud, the suffering, that suddenly the mind is transcended. It is opened up to the light. So today's lesson is about realizing that you are sinless. There's no sin in you. It's all in the mind. There's no sin in anybody else. Everybody here is trying to navigate the world through the ego. They're trying to transcend their own egos in different ways. They might not know it, and if they don't know it, they're so involved with that, they're lost. The more we can show light to one another, the more we can get them to see that aspect of themselves is not who they really are. There's something greater in there, and when we can all feel, become that is when our whole world is just going to unfold in wonderful ways. And so my heart goes out to anybody today who is suffering. You know, I know that they can get beyond that. I know in my own aspect of life, you know, there's times when I can feel myself going into those places and I've got to keep pulling myself back. And it's hard sometimes, you know, it's hard because the story is so ingrained in us. It keeps playing out. We've got to kind of putting it to one side and getting the Course in Miracles, for example. This book is so beautiful. It just helps. Read some of the beginning, you know, context, the chapters that has so much in there. It's just so much in there for us to read and fill the mind with real sort of enlightening ways to see the world, because you can open that book up at just a random page and it just seems to, you know, work for whatever is going on in your life right now. So I wish you so much love and joy and happiness, and to see beyond what you feel is causing you the suffering in your life, to move beyond that, to know that where you are right now is absolutely perfect, that you are just perfect the way you are. You don't need to do anything to change anything. You just be you from the heart. And the more you can tap into that, and like it said with the miracles, the more we can rest in the faith of miracles, the more you will be shown in this world the truth. So let's keep moving towards that truth in the world. Enjoy your day. See you again soon. Bye.